Yeah.
Hey, what's going on, people? This is Speederman here once again with another film review. And this time I'm talking about another Gaspar Noé film called Love, Love, from 2015. Now, this film is about this guy named Murphy, and I know it's a funny name. And he's an American living in Paris. He has a kid and a wife or girlfriend. And one day he receives a phone call from his ex girlfriend's mom saying that she hasn't heard from her daughter in quite some time. So this phone call makes Murphy really worried. He kind of starts getting depressed, mad. He's going through all these emotions. And then the film shows us how it was when they were together, the things they were doing. Pretty much like goes into his memory of him being with Electra, which by the way is the name of his ex that's missing. So the film for a long time focuses on that, on their relationship that they had. Now, this film, like right away, the opening scene starts off with a really graphic, graphic and masturbation scene. So it kind of sets the tone for what you're gonna see in the film. And this film, I gotta say, out of all of his films, is the most sexually explicit film out of all the films that I've seen from him. And this is very different from a typical Gaspar Noé film because this is more like a love story. There's no blood, there's no violence. It's just I guess what the director said is a love story from a sexual point of view. That was the kind of film he was trying to put out, that was the whole concept of this film. And I guess I kind of do understand that, but yeah, the movie is like 2 hours and 12 minutes, kind of like Enter the Void was. Enter the Void was a really long film, by the way. But so yeah, so the one of the things I noticed though about this film that you notice about his other films is the visual style. You have the same visual style that you know that he does, the signature visual style that he does, like in Enter the Void. And this has elements of I Stand Alone with the main character narrating his thoughts. You can hear his thoughts and stuff. So it has elements of I Stand Alone and Enter the Void, Irreversible. You can totally see all these elements of the camera visual style in here. And yeah, I must say, but this film though, oh man, kind of like Into the Void. It has the same issue as Into the Void. It drags on a lot, and the film gets really repetitive after a while. Um, I would say that's one of the bad things about this film. And the story is there. The acting is not that great, but this film, it seems like it just relies on the visual. It's a very visual film. Like if you guys ever seen his other films, like Enter the Void, you know what I'm talking about. So that's kind of what kept me watching the film. But you have to have a lot of patience with his films, though. Like with, if you ever watch Enter the Void, you gotta have a lot of patience because this movie is very slow paced, just like his other films. So yeah, uh, at the end of the day, can I recommend this film? If you're a fan of Gaspar Noé's films, yes. And if you're a fan of like different movies, experimental films, yeah, I would definitely recommend this film. But it's not for everybody. Some people might not be patient enough to watch the whole thing. The story doesn't have a clear ending. So there are some things in the story that are not explained that I was hoping they would by the end of the film, but this film does not do that. So that's another bad thing. But still, it was still an entertaining film to watch. I'm glad I watched it. So I'm gonna give it a 7 out of 10 because it's just something different from this director that I hadn't seen before, like a love story. Most of his films are very violent, and this film has no violence at all. So it's kind of refreshing to see a movie like this from this director. So yeah, guys, I like the film. I recommend the film. I highly recommend the film, even if you're not a fan of this director. Oh, and the director makes a appearance in the film. which I thought was kind of funny. So yeah, guys, like, comment, and subscribe. 200 subscribers. Let's get it.